So welcome to the pre-show chatter of 4 a.m. Deadline Radio. First off, we're going to be having Extolant come and play for us first.
What's up?
So yeah. So Extolant, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into DJing? What styles do you mix? And what can we expect to hear from you tonight?
Well, I actually always wanted to DJ growing up and produce, because my initials in real life are actually DJ, and it just kind of always stuck out in my brain to me. But I got into it pretty late, honestly. As I got older, I started doing it more and more when I turned like 19, 20 in that area. And I'm 22 now, so I'm still fairly new to it. But I mix primarily rhythm, tear out, dubstep, brostep, kind of the heavier genre area. You know, nothing too out of the ordinary.
You know, the usual Ultra Miami Festival level of content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah.
Hey, it's what I like, you know. What can I say?
Who are some of your inspirations when you first got into DJing?
When I first, definitely Odd Prophet would be my main one. Who's actually my mentor. I take classes with him. So he's a huge one. And then another big one when I started was Dion Timmer. A lot of Dion Timmer stuff really inspired me to get into production and DJing.
Hell yeah. Who would you want to see play here in VR then at some point and do a lineup with?
Oh, that's a good one. I would really like to see Mplex. They're a smaller producer, but they do Complexitro stuff, and they're a friend of mine, and they're very talented.
Hell yeah. I mean, have you told them about anything from the scene yet?
I have not. I don't think they're really involved in VR chat, but I should definitely clue them into it and see if they're interested.
Well, I'll make sure to send you a copy of your performance and show them what they can see out of it.
All right, I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Oh man. So what can we expect a little bit out of your lineup tonight? It's like who do we have in your crate?
We've got some Odd Prophet. We've got a lot of my friends' music, honestly. A lot of smaller people, like Cheap Thrill. Have some Destiny in there. I've got... Who else do I have? I have Arsenal, which is someone that not a lot of people know. And then some of my music, and I end off the night, actually, with a new song that's coming out next week. So look forward to that.
Oh, hell yes. Oh, yes. So are you planning on releasing an album anytime soon?
An album? Oh, man. Probably not anytime soon. That I work in healthcare full time. So I do not get a lot of free time. Even my weekends are spent oftentimes going into work and that sort of thing, going into the clinic and doing that stuff. So an album, possibly not, but I am looking into making an EP, probably sometime mid next year. That's at least what I'm aiming for.
Oh, nice. Nice. I dig it. So with your single that you're releasing, just so we can get an idea of what we're going to expect out of the vibe from it, what'd you name the song?
The song is called Kill Your Beauties, and it's actually got a bit of a backstory. So it's releasing on the Broken Hearts compilation, which is a collaboration between Half Heart Project and Broken Vault Records. Both wonderful staff, very, very awesome. But the story behind it is essentially that my persona started with a TV head, and so I was immediately coined as a Barely Alive copy by so many people, and it's actually stunted. And I've always loved Barely Alive's music, but I feel I kind of need to branch away from that, and if I'm going to grow as an artist. And so this is kind of like one of my final kind of walks in that realm. So I named it Kill Your Beauties as a testament to killing off the things that I once loved but stunted my growth.
Yeah, in writing we have a similar thing called Kill Your Babies, so that I understand that of just like what you hold precious to you. You can't grow unless you take it out. So yeah.
Yeah.
But with your avatar right now, since you don't have the TV head, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing tonight?
It is currently Subaru from ReZero in a fancy suit. I like this avatar because it is the first one I ever found when I started playing VR chat like 2 years ago, and I just haven't really changed since.
All right then, important question: who is best girl in ReZero?
Oh, Rem.
There we go.
I know. Yeah. I literally, looking to my right now in my room, I have a figure shelf. Right, me and my girlfriend both collect figures. And one of my shelves is almost entirely Rem. I have probably 16 or 17 Rem figures.
Nice. Oh man, yeah. How did you feel about the second season after like the long await after the first season?
I did enjoy it. I feel it's a lot slower than the first one. It's definitely a lot more brutal at its core, but it definitely moved way slower, and I think that's possibly because it didn't have enough content to fill out the full-length second season they wanted, so they kind of had to stretch a lot of the episodes further than it needed to, in my opinion. Obviously, I can't speak fact, but...
No, I get it. And when it comes to any of Japanese media, which do you prefer, the manga or the anime? Or actually, no, even better, the important question: sub or dub?
Oh, subs.
Sub
always.
Right.
See? Shadow gets it, sub always.
There we go.
I used to be an English stan until like I actually watched like anime with good subs.
Facts.
Oh yeah, no. Once you get a proper translations going, and you can actually hear the tone and the voice of the characters, and just the way the storytelling is just it's just not comparable.
Words that don't mean the same thing in English. That's what always got me. Is like there's translations that are wrong not because that they incorrectly interpreted what they were saying. They're wrong because you can't say what they said in English. You can write down what they said in English,
but the direct translation isn't as.
There's things.
Things always get jumbled.
Language. So I was like, man,
I think
in order
personally
to
for me,
like, Ghost in the Shell.
Personally, for me, though, the main thing about subs is there's so much more raw emotion in the original Japanese voice acting, and I don't know what the reason for that is. But there's just something so powerful in how they voice act.
Yes, I agree. And a lot of that's why I tend to go with subs first, so that way I can like hear the original of what the character was intended to sound like, and then go to the English and compare the two. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, there are many dubs that are done very well. Like if you've ever watched Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, that is one that I would
was
actually
intended to
recommend
be
the
in
dub
English
over
though.
the sub. Yeah, that one, but Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories is something else.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then speaking of coming out of an anime, Ashtral, your outfit is fantastic. What are we looking at here?
Thing that was on Cartoon Network that was like.
Okay.
I don't think she could hear you.
Sort of like.
It's all good.
That was like.
It's all good.
It was like.
No, and like that's the fun part about like how we do 4am DR is because like it's a lot more of an open podcast than it is like a structured radio station type thing. And once the conversation gets going, it's a lot easier to keep the flow going. And so like I want the audience to come in and join us for it too. So yeah.
Wait.
I've honestly never been interviewed before the show. It was very interesting.
Puffy or something?
Yeah, dude. Like,
hi. Oh yeah.
We do stuff like this every time we do 4am deadline. So the first time we actually did, the first time we actually did one of our major events over at Monochrome, we actually did a post-show interview. But since you had but since you have since you have work the next day, I want to make sure you get to work on time. So I always
appreciate. I have to drive 2 hours to the next city over, and it's gonna be a rough time.
I completely understand. Like I said, my parents are nurses, so like we know the struggle of like having to wake up extra early, beat traffic, get to there, and then come back, 4-hour drive back. You know, that kind of thing. So
Oh, they're a sub company.
I appreciate it. I'm super excited.
Yeah. Let me see how we're doing on time. We've got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes left before it is time for you to head on up and kill it on the decks.
Should I stand up there right now, or am I good to hang out here?
You're good to hang out here for now, and then like, do you have everything already set up? Like your software is ready, your gear is ready.
Yeah, my OBS is all good to go, so I just have to go live, which I usually start 5 minutes before the time I start.
We'll follow that rule of 5 minutes before you start then, and so that way like you can just make sure everything's rounded out in terms of this pre-show interview.
I do that because it gives me time to troubleshoot if when I go live I have any like frame dropping or anything, because sometimes like kicking off the stream immediately my OBS likes to freak out, so I like having a 5-minute buffer.
I completely understand that with Rekordbox open, VRChat open, and OBS open. Yeah, like how? Okay, I guess good last question is, what is your specs?
Interesting.
What is your build like?
My specs on my PC. I have an i7-7700K, which is a little outdated, but it gets the job done. I have a 1080 Ti, 16 gigabytes of what's the brand of RAM? It's
Teen Titans. That's like one of my favorite animations ever.
I cannot remember the brand right now. But 16 gigabytes of RAM, a 650 watt power supply, and then just a standard gigabyte ATX motherboard. I don't remember the exact model though.
All right. So it's not like the beefiest of beef, where it's like grade A Wagyu PC, but
but I mean, like a 1080 Ti definitely gets the job.
There you go. And so see. Okay then. Last question then is, for anyone that is new and starting to DJing and looking into VR chat and just PC gaming as a whole, what advice do you have for them?
I'll be honest, I'm pretty brand new myself. The only advice I'd really have is just enjoy it, because at the end of the day, it's all just for fun. I mean, you can't really take yourself too seriously, because that can kind of ruin the enjoyment of it.
All right, there we go. And that was Extolant. So you're going to be our first one of the night. I have your link already prepped and ready to go. We still have 8 minutes left. Is there any final thoughts you'd want to add for the pre-show interview?
Any final thoughts? I hope you all enjoy it. I do want to preface that this is a pre-recorded set. I couldn't do it live with my timing schedule. So, but someday when I come back, hopefully I'll have everything set up for a live set.
So they sat in a room and they said it's.
And there you have it.
I don't like people faking it and pretending it's live when it's not. So I do have to preface that it is pre-recorded.
It's understandable. Like sometimes there's situations where you can't have a live recorded set, and like
I'm still learning how to do live right now. So.
Oh my god, wait.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Basketball player
like,
character? Who
I think we still got just enough time.
No, Mac was the main character.
What is the hardest part of it then? The hardest part that you think that everyone should like kind of take for as a way of like getting up to being used to performing? As like the last
cut out a little bit. What's the hardest part of what you said?
The hardest part of learning to mix that you can give as advice as well to kind of like help people with their journey and just like kind of push them.
I think the hardest part, at least for me, is finding songs. That is shockingly difficult to find songs that. Because here's the thing, you kind of have to forfeit some you want to play because they don't fit right. Does that make sense? Like ones you might really want to play have to sit out because they just don't fit right with the set, or you can't find a way to transition into them, or that sort of thing. So I think the hardest part for me is honestly finding music, which seems like to most people is the easiest, but maybe I'm just the odd one out.
All right. Well, there we go.
Who's the girl?
No, that makes sense. Like crate diving's a thing for a reason. So
holy shit.
Let's see what you dove for in your crates then.
Fucking guy.
Appreciate it. I'm excited. I think I'm probably about ready to go get set up.
Yeah, Frankie. Oh my.
All right, perfect. And for those of you watching at home, sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you want to join us in world, do add any of us or join any of the DJs, and you're free to come join us and dance on the dance floor. So yeah, we'll see you there.
Thank you all. Sweet.
All right. Let me end the recording.
All good.
Thank you.